And there are various ways to stop a taxi, various ways at least. You know this one, local. And if you want to come here to Joburg, but remember that they're very localized. So if you do this in Mpumalanga, perhaps, I don't know where it will take you. And if you do this there, I don't know. So you have to make sure that wherever you are in the country, you have to know what the taxi signs are. Otherwise, you'll find yourself very lost, and that's not what you want. Well, I'm surrounded by taxi owners now who are very active in the industry, as you can imagine, but they're at the background, so to say. They own the means of production, but the ones at the forefront are the drivers. So we just want to speak to them now about the current industry and the conditions in the industry. So, Baba Nijani, introduce in industry. I know that you're a taxi owner. What is the industry like for you?
Well, my name is Ralph Jones, and for me, this is my business, and I've got no any other business except this. So for me, I add value and I provide service to the commuter out there, to the public, to the paying public. So it's something that it puts bread on my table, and at the same breath, it's a service that I'm providing.
It can be very, very difficult, though. I'm going to speak to some of the ladies who own taxis in the taxi industry. Mama Agnes, I'm going to ask you to speak to us perhaps about whether or not you get respect as a woman who owns taxis in the industry.
Mama ka taxi industry. Bontate ba re hlompha tjeka basebetsi mmoho le rona.
And then how na le dintho tsa taxi violence re tseba re ba lwanela di route sometimes le ba teng le lona mo le lwanela di route
ha re lwane rona re le bomme re ba thusa ka thapelo hore ntwa e fele ha re rate ntwa ka re ntwa ha ile teng bontate ba sia bana re sala re le bomme re sena le bontate ka mo malapeng so re ka mehla re dula mo thapelong ke thapelo re thusa hore bophelo ba rona bo tswelle pele.
Mama, perhaps you can also speak to us about how you pay the drivers, because sometimes I know when it comes to issues of pay, there's a lot of disputes. Some of them choose to pay themselves and will take a little bit of extra money because they feel they're not being paid enough, but at times they're not getting paid enough.
Yes, on that point, it's that, we do follow the Labour Act. We try to meet them halfway and give them a proper salary. But everywhere people, they do take something. So we'll really appreciate when we've got a new system that will be monitoring our funds so that he can also be paid in a proper way and we also get the money on our side in the right way.
Mama, now we are on it, Amatex. Okay, just speak to us, Mama, about how you manage a breakdown as abantu besifazane. Sometimes asikwazi ukuthowa nezinto ezinjalo. Maybe when we akwazi mina isingi isikhulumela mina ngikwazi. So maybe you can speak to us about makunemoto estakile somewhere long distance, how you manage that.
If kunemoto estakile sinabobaba kwama-association yethu basinceda and enye into sinama-insurance yizo izinto ezisincedayo kakhulu. Like if abo-driver bangena discipline kuma-association sinama-DC la if udriver enza into wrong bamfine. That's why abo-driver bethu ba-straight ngoba kune-disciplinary committee.
There are many complaints about the lack of structure in the taxi industry, that somehow there are no rules and regulation, that government needs to come in and enforce legislation to run this thing properly. What do you think about that?
Well, it's unfortunate people don't know what is happening because you need to be nearer and ask so that we can tell you. We are well structured. We've got disciplinary committees, we've got grievance procedures that we have put in place. So at this point in time, if you've got a problem, just take the number plate and the sticker from the back of the car so that you report that, all right? We've got
so there are structures in place. We'll have to leave it there, but thank you so much for joining us, and thank you ever so much for joining us for the last 2 hours of the show. It's time for us to say goodbye to our SABC 2 viewers. Let's continue this conversation on Twitter or Facebook or any other social media platforms. If you do have access to DSTV, join us on channel 404 for another hour of Morning Live. Sharp, sharp. Hey, tada.